Greetings, this is Joanna from Heavenly Radiance, Shamanic Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a beautiful, gorgeous sunny day. The sun is right behind me, just beating down this beautiful energy for all of us. We've called in the sacred soul tribes, the Christ consciousness, the Elohim, the ascended masters, archangels, the divine and holy mother, father, the spirit of the universe, universal creators, and of course all of your teams, the higher selves and souls of those listening now and future now moments, so that you can open your heart and receive the multidimensional Christed vibrations for those that so desire. Any activations, any remembrances, any multidimensional frequencies that you so desire to move along your path in the most heightened, most exploratory way to experience and express yourself as the Christic version of who you are. So we thank you for this beautiful gathering, and we wanted to bring in a few new decks today. And so let's start with the Wildwood Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. The deck right there, for those that so desire. I love this. Comes through with many stories vibrationally for me. And that's by Mark Ryan and John Matthews. And so thank you. So it's just coming off of the new moon energies. So you can, if you so desire, still create an intention for your manifestation of what you truly desire to co-create as a soul. And we've often taught about the soul truths that you're here to express and explore and experience, or the truth that is your soul in a creative way that's always aligned with your soul's destiny, your soul's mission to not only assist and serve the earth through its ascension, but also to heal and transcend the soul and the soul group that you are connected and aligned with. So we're going to pick 3 cards from this. And it always, the soul truths that you come with are things that are usually of always a creative expression, and your joy and your excitement as a child to explore creation. So whether that's your joy of nature, expressing and exploring nature with others, and sharing those excitements, teaching children, singing, painting, those are soul truths, and it can be felt at the core of your being, and they do create an alchemic shift. And so that's how I love that one. Colorful beings in that one, aren't they? And then we wanted to create one from the, this is the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer. I love these ones too. We'll create a storyboard vibrationally of what is moving within these beautiful still new moon energies, and I'm really excited. I can feel beautiful loving changes that are coming to support my soul's dreams and wishes that are supporting the divine earthly ascension. I'm going to pick 2 from here. Oh, great. Can see the story unfolding. I'll put those over there. And those over there. And they're beautiful. Calling in the beautiful angels and the spirit guides. And we're calling in the Elohim and the Christ consciousness, the Gaia Consciousness. Gaia Consciousness to speak through us. This one wanted to come out. I had that one the other day. I'll pull one from the and so feel into your creative excitements, feel into your creative joys, feel into the things that you can remember, usually that are that do not have the propensity to be kind of guided by others. These are the soul truths and the soul values that you can feel and sense and remember in every way at your most authentic state. So whether you were, remember a beautiful favorite thing that you used to do when you were a child, then it wasn't inhibited or kind of influenced by anybody else. You just found your desire to be with nature. That's why I just love communing with Gaia, because it was something that I was allowing myself the remembrances of, that I've had many awakenings with my intimacy with Gaia. And although I had many other creative talents, I was told that I was great in drawing and perhaps creative design and things like that. Those were influenced by others, where they saw my creative gifts and acknowledged it. But my soul truth was really that communion and connection with spirit in nature, with the fairies, the elementals, the pixies. And that is a soul truth of mine. And so I try to use that soul truth as an influencer of my joy and my expressiveness to assist others in learning about spirit connection with Gaia, spirit connection with water consciousness, insects, birds and bees, because they each have a celestial group, insectoids, a myriad of other planets that's also linked within our DNA, that we are here to create wisdoms and teachings to create greater oneness and entanglement. Oh, I love that. It's one of my favorite cards. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, what a spread today. Thank you. So we'll get busy. All right. So let's see. And so yes, our ability to create oneness and greater understanding for who we are as a human species moving through ascension is to open and awaken our multidimensional communications and oneness with all life, so that we begin to honor and appreciate and respect all facets of life and how they each play an important role. And in doing so, we open the compassion and the gateway for one another, creating greater systems of compassion, greater systems of care and harmony. And there is, in all of my years of work and awakening, I've had many of the portals of my Gaia consciousness, the Elohim consciousness, the Christic consciousness, awaken to all aspects of life, whether they're insects, whether they're animals, birds, trees, nature, water, forests, rocks, rock consciousness. And they do have consciousness groups that they're also threaded with for creator programs and light creator programs for ever expanding evolutionary plans and design within the higher heavens. And there's many of us that are here with these gifts so that we can bring new stories, expanded stories, add stories that are vibrational stories from the earth and from those particular nature groups to be brought into the now consciousness, to rewrite many of the ancient teachings of mythical stories about our planet and about wildlife and nature and even our own species. For the more that we know about all that is around us and entangling within us, then the greater we are to bring appreciation and gratitude and honor, so that we do create great care for our planet, great oneness, and that it is a long-standing relationship of oneness, which has been missing. Many of the sacred travels that I've gone in and about Gaia, I've brought forward many vibrational stories that as the curators and nature guides and even historically acclaimed people were guiding us and telling us the experiences on the lands, there has always been additional vibrational stories that I was able to tap into or was offered through the various consciousness groups, the inner earth shamans, the tribe shamans, Gaia, nature consciousness, wildlife, reptiles. There's so many different types of consciousness groups that were sharing their stories with me, so that we can bring these new vibrational stories to the forefront and begin living in a higher vibrational sacred way, the way that we've lived in many other lifetimes tribally, in oneness and honor of Gaia and the stories that we co-create and we allow ourselves to be a part of. And so why Gaia consciousness is so important to me, and is part of my soul truth and my soul value that I'm stepping forward now to create in a greater way. And so this is the Page of Bows, and this is the stoat. It's kind of a unique looking animal. And the bows, the stoat animal that is in its environment, and you can kind of see where it is in its environment. It's got a view of everything. It's got a view of where it wants to be. It's got a view of what's going on in and around it. And it's got the water, it's got the land, it's got the rocks. So it's aware of its surrounding. It's aware of what it is being offered. It's aware of its oneness within all that is. And it can choose which path do I want to go? And you can see it's kind of straddling perspective paths, perspective potentials, perspective possibilities. And this is the entry point and the gateway to begin something new, where this stout has learned, and it feels, the energy that I'm feeling from this vibration right now is like this young youth that has. I was shown a story from an ancient tribe, and if I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere around Easter Island, and the mother and this boy were very close, and they lived in a cave, and she had taught him everything that she could know, and they're very close. They shared stories, they shared their experiences, their explorations, and they adored one another. And it was time for this young boy who was becoming a man, and usually at the age of 13 in many ancient tribes, they were introduced and initiated into young adulthood, and they would go through certain initiations, and they would even create their own initiations to move into exploration of who they were within the tribe and within the greater all. And she had such great love for her son, but she knew in her heart that their oneness would not be separated by the paths and the trails that they would follow in one another's own exploration, but that there would come a time that she would have to accept to let go and allow the growing of the individual souls to be what it was, and to know that the particular, beautiful point of that story is that they had gained such communion and telepathic communication that regardless of how far he traveled and explored, that in any moment that he felt his longing for her and his missing her, that it was just a heartfelt connection, and they could connect at that level in any way, but that it was his time now to straddle the possibilities and to become something new. And he's looking back to see, do I honor what has been? Do I honor and revere what I've gone through and how much I've grown? And this is really important that I've been brought to my attention for the last 6-7 months, is there is great value in the aspect of our ascension cycles to reflect, daily reflection. And that daily reflection is not to rehash and regurgitate stories that have gone by, to release the stories, but to reflect upon the lessons, to reflect upon the growth, to reflect upon the strength and the honor that you've gained along the way. And when we do those aspects of reflection, we can actually look back in all great honor and see the paths and the trails that you've traversed with great honor and great nobility. This stout is sitting there with, I've learned great. I've had great wisdom and knowledge passed down to me. I've gone through many trails, and I see that there's much before me on either side. And I get to choose at this point with my confidence and with my honor and my reverence that I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take this next step. Regardless of what lies under, below, or beside, this is a reflection for me. It's a very confident, excited, joyful, very youthful energy to begin a new trail, to begin a new path, with confidence and clarity of where you've been, with confidence and clarity of how much you've peeled away, with confidence and clarity that you will always have source within you that will always constantly be filling you. I'm trying to get the right shadow here so I can put my finger without covering anything up. That you will always be supplied with the emotion of love and brilliance with Source Creator, that you'll always have a soft ground to land on, that you'll always have the peaks to view perhaps what's next. You'll always have those aspects that Source will offer you in your trials and in your triumphs. And so to allow that excitement of what's next to be exactly that, excitement, joy and excitement and exhilaration for your path, to celebrate who you are and where you've been and what you've gone through, because you're the only one that has brought you to that point. You're the only one that's allowed yourself forgiveness. You're the only one that's allowed yourself to forgive others. You're the only one that's allowed yourself the strength to say, I'm ready for something new. This is serving me in a new way, that I really want to explore all that I am as a soul and to truly tap into my soul truths and my gifts so that I can share and really create goodness of who I am through my perspectives and offerings and expressions. Because ultimately, each and every one of us have come here, yes, for an infinite number of myriad of reasons, but essentially to explore the various aspects that the soul requires for healing, requires for exploration and experience and expression. And if we can do that with an open, excited heart, that this is a fresh new journey and what is before us. So this is a very youthful, very excited, very confident experience that I'm feeling. And the path is all before him or her. This is a path of a crossroads. There's something beginning, and you've got all that you need within you from your experience, from your mastery to learn from every lesson that you have moved. And that's where your past truly becomes your greatest teacher. So that you, before choices are made, you allow it to be from the highest perspective of what does my soul and my heart feel is right for me. And I know that my next step will always be one with source. And so let's start celebrating and honoring everything we've gone through, because this is a new beginning. This is an exciting new beginning. That's a great card. Oh my gosh, and look at this next card. This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Five of Vessels and Ecstasy. The Five of Vessels. And you can just see, just look at her. She's in complete liberation, and how beautiful that it comes from that page card. That page card felt very youthful and confident. And what I'm getting here is the second childhood coming to life. And I remember when I was a child, so connected with nature, and I would just, my happiest moments was in nature, being with the forest and the trees and the moss. And I would just be just in awe of Gaia's offerings. I mean, I would just stare at moss, just wonder about the intricacies of nature in its smallest form. And I would literally be in awe. And you could see that she's dancing within the Star of David. And the Star of David has many inferences, not only in traditions of religious and dogma energies, but for me, because we like to expand from the holographic perspective of who we are as multidimensional cosmic star seeds that are sacred geometry in every form. We transcend every and all outlined traditional religions. We're multidimensional Christic beings of light, and those Christic energies are sacred geometry. The Star of David for me has many, many symbolisms, but for me it is the union of the higher and the lower self coming together and merging in a sacred unity and a sacred dance. So that as we release the densities, as we release the negative and the egoic perspectives, we become light-filled and we become joyful. And I see a face on her dress, and this face is the higher self, the soul self, the Holy Mother Father living through her in her ecstasy. And she's got these bows that are her balancing. She's dancing, and she's in the very center of that. So in her story, she is completely centered with the higher and the lower self. She's done the defined shadow work, if you will, or the inner child work, so that she's allowed herself to fill the various aspects that were important for her to fulfill. She's fulfilled the traditional commitments. She's fulfilled her exploration of who she was within the tribe. She's fulfilled her creative joys and aspects. So all of these cups might mean something different for her through the inner and outer journey of who we are as humans, as spirit, and as expanded beings of light. But now for me, this is because this new journey is presenting itself to her or him, that they're now presenting themselves a celebration for a new path forthcoming, because the initiation stage of what was has been learned, and there's something new on its way. There's great ecstasy and celebration for this new path, because she's showing us that she does have balance. She can balance the male and female energies. She can balance the light and the dark. She can balance all those things that she's learned, and she's filled up from her own initiations. She's filled up from her own movement of her path, taking the challenges, taking the triumphs, and learning from it all. And it allows her to be completely free and liberated, which is what Ascension really is. It's allowing us to reunify all that we are, releasing the densities by honoring and calling in greater light. As we call in greater light, we open up the gateway to intelligence, wisdom, majesty of the heavens, how the miracles of the heavens live through us and work through us as we allow ourselves those ascending light body activations. But we can only do so as we release what's no longer required, as we release the path that has served us in great ways, but now it's time to serve in a greater way. So this experience for me is about the ecstasy to come and be your best, to live your greatest life, to live your most pure, authentic life, to allow yourself to dance and be encouraged, and authenticity and joy of who you are, to allow those experiences to be a part of your everyday journey, because it should. But our journey in every moment is with Source. And that is to be experienced in the most joyful and ecstatic way. Why not? We can let go of how life has been or seemed or been defined to us to be so hard and treacherous. It doesn't have to be. And we can let go of whatever cups we want to let go of and say, this has served me and I honor it. We've often talked about the ability to move through an ascension and awakening. This is from my personal experience in many, many, many years of personal experience. And I can feel the subtle fields as an intuitive, a crystal child. My subtle bodies are awakened. My light body is awakened. I'm now entering into the fifth dimensional energies and consciousness. I can feel things that are being co-created at a subtle level, whether it's through worry or whether it's through concern. All of those energies create, whether it's in a subtle way that then becomes manifest in a physical form, but they do create. So it's important that we allow ourselves to live in greater joy and childlike exploration and expression, so that we understand that everything that comes before us in our reality is our co-creation. And if we do so with great honor of every moment, regardless of how dark, shadowy, negative, challenging, however we want to define it, it doesn't matter. Again, we've said that many times, the less we define, the greater. Whatever it is that comes before you and the less that we define it, the easier that you are to step out and to create something really quickly and new, when you're honoring it and you're valuing it for what it's taught you and allowed you to learn and explore. Because each and every one of us are here to create and stand strong within our light. This inner pillar of light, the center of our light, the center of who we are as souls, with Source Creator, with Spirit, with the universe, with God, Source, Mother, Father, with our soul, our oversoul, with our higher self and our spirit guides. That's the center of our being, which is here. And I often teach about it in our classes. And you can feel it alchemically when you get to the attunements of doing this on a regular practice with your bodies and your self-care. That when you're in alignment with your soul and when you're in alignment at the center of who you are, anything can come and move in about you, but you're standing strong within your center about what's truly valued and in honor of you, your vibration, your values, your excited desires, your creative desires, because that will be required for not only full fifth dimensional living when we're in contact with many other beings from many other planets, and how may we stand in alignment and our discernment, but also for all of those awakening upon earth that will need us to stand in our power and our strength as they go through their jostling and their awakening. And so it's really important that we understand the whole multidimensional picture and how Gaia offers the vibration of grounding. See, she's got one foot planted, and that's a powerful grounding. She's lifting up, and this is how we can look at it even from the most anthropological point of view, the archaeological point of view. When I was in college, I took biological anthropology, and I studied some species about the movement and how we move as ancient cultures. And there's no accident that we move foot by foot. There's no accident that we're bipedal, energies. It allows us to maintain that constant and very delicate, intricate balance of foot to land, male to female, all that we are in every moment. There is a system of spiraling quantum delight and design. And then just to throw caution to the wind one day and just jump up and down and see what it feels like to be weightless and free and liberated. And then to come grounding back once again to Gaia. So there's always those moments of exploration of how truly grand and profound we are, to jump as high as we can jump with our liberation, but then to be firmly planted in what we know and who we know we are within the greater scheme of creation, because that's each and every one of our roles. There's not one person on this planet that doesn't have a part within the grander scheme of creation. This planet is integral with every other evolutionary program in the galaxy, in the universe, in the multiverse. Make no mistake about that. So how may we go about these new journeys with grand exploration about who we are and what we're allowing ourselves to explore in the two areas that are truly unknown and undefined. My teams have been continually telling me that there's much on my path that's before me, but we don't have words or understandings for what is truly possible. So why not open to the infinite? Why not dance with Source Creator? Why not dance with Gaia and say, my heart is utterly open. I am a vessel of pure light. I'm a vessel. I'm open. Allow life to live through me. And I will balance myself, and I will dance with joy, and I will sing to the stars in the heavens, and I will bring the heavens to earth. For I am the center of all sacred geometry. I am one with Source. That's beautiful. Very powerful. And this one, this one is commanding respect. Oh, look at him. He is in the center of what looks like to be a very, like the hare and the rabbit's briar patch. It's not the most comfortable place to be. It's not the most luxurious and soft and delicate place to be. And he is there in all of his glory with his antlers of what he's earned in his path. And I can see this. This is telling a story about how he's allowed himself to go on either way of light and dark, male and female versions. He's allowed himself to explore those roles. And he's come forward with his understanding, what he has gained through his travels. This is like the Nine of Bows. So these are the experiences that he's gained, and he's mastered himself, either some sort of a temporary shelter, a temporary statue of adherence. I've been here. This is the space that I've called my own through my experiences. I'm asking for loving command and respect for my journey. I've gained much. I have much wisdom, and it's within my own entitlement as a divine being of holy light and sovereignty to command that respect now. There's much wisdom and honoring that I've gained through even the darkest challenges and even the places that have been uncomfortable, but I've gained it. I've earned it. I've allowed myself to explore all that I am, and I choose to move in this way now. And so this is a very powerful card for me, and I resonate very deeply with this because I'm at an experience right now where I'm allowing myself to celebrate and honor who I am with great respect and honor, because I've come through many trials and tribulations that have been what perhaps many have also gone through, and it can break you several times over. And that's what the Nine of Bows stands for, is those challenges that you've believed that regardless of what, you are the seeker of light. There will always be that light in and above and beyond what you're moving through. There is always the path of Source, the light of Source, the answers, the love, the integrity. There is always the higher ground within every situation that we create within the universe, because it's always an equal representation. If you have the mastery and the skill and the gift, because this is about skill and honoring of where you've been and what you've gone through. You have to have skill to get to this level. You have to have intelligence and wisdom to get to this level. You have to have the strength and the fortitude to sit in exactly where he's sitting. It doesn't look comfortable at all. And he's coming forward to say, I command the respect. I have all the tools, I have the wisdoms, and I have the fortitude within me to get beyond anything. And I can make anything work. I know who I am. And we each get to that place in mastery where it's about the humble and the divine reverence that we have for all journeys taken. We don't know how this person has got here, and it's not for us to judge or make light of anyone's journey, because we don't know their souls. We don't know their souls mapping. We don't know what they've been through in 6 or 7 or 10 other lifetimes. When someone comes through with a divine miracle, and there might be others in the circle that might not understand or might begin judging or commenting because it might not look fair to them. They have no idea what this person has been through. They can't judge it. Source knows, Creator knows, Spirit knows. That person might have had 16,000 lifetimes before, 1,600 lifetimes, 16, a million, it doesn't matter. They might have had tremendous lifetimes of divine service in every way to every other being of life. And this was the lifetime that it comes through. So it's not for us to judge anyone or any being for their soul's path, to release the judgment, to release the comments of separation, because that's what it is. So anything that we see anyone coming forward with, to do so with divine respect and honor for everyone's path and for your own. and to claim it as your own. This is my life. I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to be in ecstasy. I am going to seek respect for myself. I'm going to come forward and honor who I am, and know that those vibrations will also magnetize and attract others that will also have respect for me, that will not want to throw me off my game, or that will not want to challenge me to be my best. They'll actually encourage me and empower me to be my best. They'll inspire me to be my best, and they'll help in every way for me to be my best. And it's about those that are moving through transitions, to allow yourself the respect and honor to spend time in reflection, to know I've got much in front of me, and what am I ready to let go of? What relationships are really truly serving and nourishing me, and what relationships are dramatic and consuming? And allow yourself to refine moment for moment for moment. And that can be the relationship with yourself. How demeaning and how depraving are you of yourself? So to honor your path with every step, because every time you clear a journey, every time you clear that Akash, and every time you love yourself and forgive yourself and heal yourself and offer others that as well, those wands are being wrapped in a bundle of celebration, of honor, of pride, of deep gratitude for your journey, for who you are as a soul, because you're not just moving through it on your own. You are connected and threaded and linked with the infinite, and you affect all souls. You affect all. There's beings in consciousness that are watching every aspect of human life on this planet. They're watching us transcend. They're watching us struggle. They're watching us triumph. They're watching us seek the light within, seek the answers and the wisdoms of the earth, seek the answers and the wisdoms from one another, and how we can bring compassion and care to a planet that truly, truly is in need of it. To live as one in the most uncomfortable situations and face it head on, because we know we have what it takes to bring something new and enlightened to any moment, because it's all source. So this is really, really powerful. Wow, powerful cards today. And then we've got this, this is beautiful Earth Magic card, and we've got the crystal, and the symbolism of the crystals are for focus. And we know that crystals play a huge part in Gaia Consciousness, healing, communication, information. What this is saying to me is, we've gone through the storyboard of the new path before us, of honoring where you've been and what you've gone through, and commanding respect for yourself and from others, to allow you to shift your perspective and your reality experience. And this creates focus. Where really is your reality focus? Is it embedded within what was? Is it embedded within how you could have done something differently? Is it embedded with all of those past experiences? Or are you looking to the vibration of what you absolutely know is within your heart and soul? Because there's an infinite number of threads of vibration for us to choose and create the experience from. And even those subtle experiences, those moments in which your mind, your lower mind, is entrained to just think thoughts that you've always thought. So part of mastery is about creating new thoughts that serve the vibration of where we choose to experience and where we choose to go. So it's always that delicate balance of always being 1 foot grounded and 1 foot into that expansive arena, so that you can garner the higher vibrations of what is our potential and bring it through to your reality experience in the now. And so create the visions and create the intentions, create the colors. What does it look like? What are the textures? How does it feel? What does your vibrational experience that you truly wish to desire in all vibrational ways? Feel, sense, hear, sound, touch. How does your reality experience in the most wildest way? And how can you create focus within it? And as the crystals offer us, how can we use Gaia to assist us in our focus? Because this is the energy coming from Gaia right now, is we are co-creating fifth dimensional Earth through our focus. So how beautiful can we imagine it? How beautiful can we imagine the stars and the heavens assisting us in bringing the most unimaginable experiences to our reality and grounding it, using all of that as Gaia to create the beautiful caves of creation that will be used in generations and futures and future galaxies and future planets that we have no idea on how to create in this moment now, but opening our heart and allowing Source to live through us, and releasing the stories of the past and honoring the respectful balance it's shown us, mastery and strength it's shown us, wisdom and intelligence it's shown us, our intuitive gifts that it's shown us, releasing all stories and transmuting so that you can garner the light from those stories, garner the light and ground it into your new now focus. Remember, these could be all past particles of stories that you're garnering the light from all those stories. No matter how challenging or dark a situation might have been, there's always a light within it. There's always a lesson and a blessing because it's source. You garner it, you call those light particles in. That's alchemy. You call those particles in. I learned self-respect in that situation. I learned to speak my truth in that situation. I learned to stand up for myself in that situation. I learned to love myself in that situation. You garner those light particles and you create the new. And that is focus. That's the higher mind and heart focus. And it requires us doing that divine harmonization, just as we showed in this girl dancing. She understands to manifest this dance, it's a great balance. It's a great balance to bring the hands and the arms and to create that stability that she'll need so that she doesn't topple over. And she's standing within the very center of that divine sacred shape. So we understand how important balance and self-care is, to take the stories and to take the precious lessons from it all and to ground and anchor it so that we create anew in every moment. We're always being offered every moment a new opportunity to be our best, to ground and anchor our best, to live with integrity, to live through the center of our own heart. And for me, that's what the sacred Star of David is. It's a representation of the divine sacred heart. The heavens and the earth amalgamated, merged, and harmonized, spiraling and spinning, which is the shape of the Merkaba that we are, that is all of our lifetimes encoded as source. That's how we move into the divine light body and all of its glory and all of its mastery and all of its offerings. That's amazing. Thank you. And I love this one. And we always know that for any new journey, there's going to be moments of vulnerability. And that vulnerability, just like falling in love or creating a new path of study, a new path of exploration, it requires us to be completely open and trusting unconditionally, which is that feeling and sensation and emotion that we call vulnerability. To allow yourself to know that you're completely open to whatever is before you, throwing caution to the wind and knowing with unconditional trust that you will find your way. That yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be beautiful things before you to explore and experience and express. And yes, there might be things that seem even farther off, yet still. But there will always be the story of Source Creator within all moments to guide you to honor that path, to honor every emotion that the humans have as a part of the journey. Because just as you move along your path of awakening, you're never going to know the end state, and you don't need to, and it's not meant for us to know that. We're only meant to know what's right in front of us right now, where we are now. And that vulnerability allows us to be completely present, which is what, if you're vulnerable, you're being present. Vulnerability is not worried about, sometimes people connect vulnerability with worry, and it's not at all. Vulnerability is allowing yourself to be a completely open book, to know that you are in your fullest honor, you are in your fullest reverence, you are in your fullest sacredness. You are grateful to be fully you because you have absolute unconditional trust that in your vulnerability you are going to open the greatest vessel of potential and possibility that Source can be and live with you. And that's why it's the beauty of the meadow, because when the frequencies of the meadow is the landscape of the all placed before us with so many textures, so many colors and richnesses, but it's only within our vulnerability that we're able to sense it, to feel, and to know it. If we have attitudes, if we have control, if we have ego mind, that shuts and closes down the perspective and the potentials that we have the ability to experience and explore. We've all done it. But now we're here to be more vulnerable in our path work. We're being more present and living from our heart space, which allows that meadow experience to come forward. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you don't know the answers. It means that you have absolute trust in your entwinement with Source in every moment. And so it's a really big shift in fifth dimensional living. Vulnerability is allowing your heart space to be fully open in honor and in strength, and knowing that you are with Source. You will have every capability and tool before you to resolve or respond to from the highest perspective. That's beautiful. Thank you. I love sunflowers, my favorite flowers. And we're going to go to this here. This is a beautiful card of clarity. And we're just talking about this. This whole spread is about it's like we're transitioning into a brand new portal and a brand new stage of awakening. We're entering into a portal of new beginnings. The January is the first month of a new decade. But what I'm sensing vibrationally from all of these cards is the master now stepping into a new level of clarity, of oneness, of challenging oneself in all that one is multidimensionally. Come forward and live from a greater perspective of clarity, of oneness, of who you are as source, with source, as your soul, expressing, creating, co-creating, exploring. All of those are mastery qualities. Those are aptitudes. Those are behaviors. They're practiced behaviors through experience of experience, the 9 of bows. You know, you gain clarity from moving through the trials and the traversing of things that are not comfortable. And not many are able to do that because it is not comfortable. You got to face every one of your shadows. You got to face every mistruth you've ever told. You've got to face every mistruth you've ever showed yourself, that you're not source, that you're small, that whatever it might be that you're moving through. But this is the path of ascension, and it must be taken in honest, authentic love for who you are, to know yourself as greater love, to know yourself as the greatest vulnerable being that you can be, because in only that are you able to seek your most authentic truth, who you are, so that you do stand in great honor. There's nothing to hide. That every one of your stories and every one of your challenges is a story unto itself that has brought you that vibration of light. Because every time you move through a trial and tribulation, you're releasing density. As you release density, you're calling in great light. And that great light is offered to all other light. You shift the entire of all creation. Every time you challenge yourself to release anything that is egoic, anything that is holding you back in limitation and control. Each and every one of us on this planet, make no mistake about this, each and every one of us are here to release and let go of subjugation at every level, whether it's how we talk, behave, whether it's the structures that we co-create in our socioeconomic system. At every level, we are here to challenge and create greater sovereignty. And sovereignty is the following of one's innate soul truth. To have clarity of who one is, to move through the challenges with great strength and higher knowing that you're one with source in all moments. What am I ready to let go? How can I stand upon a new level, a new platform for exploration, and challenge myself in every way so that I can gain greater quality of who I am, the respect and honor of who I am, and the clarity for who I am becoming. It's an entwined, speeding up, accelerated path of reunification of source in every way, every cell, every atom, every thought, every vibration. It's not just gaining, a tangible wisdom. It's creating light in every aspect of your multidimensional vessel. And why we must go through the emotional palette, the mental palette, the etheric palette, the physical palette, all will change. And that's why one commands respect. Lovingly, joyfully, honorably, nobly. It's not something where one stands in ego and says, I demand your respect. Demanding is ego. Commanding is a loving representation of knowing thyself. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I understand my truth with source. I understand my soul's mission. I understand the light within me carries great light to assist others. And I will walk forward in this truth. That is a knowing that comes from within, and it comes from the alchemic shifts from every single challenge that you've allowed yourself to face. And clear. Clarity is about becoming clear. How may you clear the path of every dense story you've told yourself? We say dense in the weight of smallness, control, weightiness, subjugation, suppression, depression. Any of those mistruths and ill-aligned truths misaligned truths, and ask your teams to get into that daily self-care and assist you in releasing every mistruth that no longer serves you. You can do this throughout the day when you're driving. Any negative thought that comes forward, release it and say, I center into my divine center point. I want to be vulnerable with who I am as source, and I release what no longer serves. I ask the teams, I ask spirit to assist me in transmuting this now. Because there's layers and layers and layers upon eons of density that we are each clearing and relieving and carrying greater light for. Well, great stories today. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful cards and beautiful people. Oh, I love this one. This is Sexuality. And as the story of this girl and this stout, we just see the cards. I mean, the energies in these cards and the stories they're telling, how we're becoming ever more clear and ever more, I don't want to say brave, but self-knowing, self-honoring, to stand in who we are at every moment, to reveal the truths that reside within us about sexuality, about how sexuality is the innate balance that we all have, that are here to be rebalanced and healed. Each and every one of us on this planet are here to heal the imbalances of our sexuality. We're here to heal the imbalances of our beliefs and our opinions, our judgments, and our subjugations about sexuality. And these, when in balance, allow us to stand at new beginnings in a completely balanced manner. This stout knows what's going on. And he's been through the challenges. He knows that there's much that's offered. There's a great new beginning, and he's looking at the whole picture. Where do I want to fall? Where do I want to step next? Maybe I'm just going to free fall from this cliff here because I know I can be caught. I know who I am. And one of the greatest teachings that Jesus and the Heavenly Councils, when I first started my Ascension path work, every day, know thyself. Know thyself. You are not like anyone else. You don't have the same story as anyone else. You will not have the same story as everyone else. You come with a soul that's completely uniquely yours. And this soul, the story that this is showing me, we see this eye here, but this is showing me a new story here, is that the soul comes in a myriad of threads and experiences and vibrations. And this person is peeking through this tree, the various environmental Gaia energy frequencies, knowing that they come from the stars, they come from the heavens. They're here as an amalgamation of all that is. There is the male self, there is the female self. There is the inner child, there is the shadow, there is the light. And all of us are harmonizing all of these aspects so that in the spiral of time, through all timelines, all threads, every realm that we've ever lived on, we're bringing ourselves to a higher moment of centeredness, of balance, of harmony, of joy, of gratitude, of reverence, because this is what ascension is. It's the rebalancing moment for moment for moment for moment. We can only do that if we're completely vulnerable and trusting of who we are, to know thyself. And that daily reflection and self-care. What did I learn today? Wow, I really said that really, really well. I held my center. I said it from a divine heart space. I truly care about these people and this person. And I said it with my most revered, honoring way that honors them as a person and their path, but also honors me and my strength for where I'm going. And allow yourself those moments through which you're truly truthful and honoring of who you are in all ways. To be soft, to be vulnerable, to be allowing of your sexuality, to be a part of your soul story, because it is. To know that, we talked about this in one of our radio shows last year, about ascension transitioning so many relationships, because as you awaken, you peel back the layers and the densities and the mistruths, or the partial truths that we've told ourselves, through community, through family, through religion, through whatever socioeconomic thread that we're here to heal. And each of us are here to heal different threads. And why in every moment that we are able to become more truthful with who we are, we release the judgments of all others, allowing the entire collective to heal, not only the soul group, but the collective soul, so that we allow for greatest liberation that we can, and the honor and respect for every aspect's story to creation. We're all threaded together. We are all from the stars. We are all earthly. We are all a part of Gaia. We have the elements of the earth. And you see that there's another eye here, the eye of God. However you want to project your energetic story within the oracles, it's completely right. And every time, and the next time you pick up an oracle, it might give you a different story. But these are the aspects of ourselves that we might not necessarily bring forward, because it might not be what the norm is, and how we've hidden away in subjugation. We've lessened our voice, we've lessened our truth, we've lessened our perspective. So this for me is about your own innate perspective, and how can you bring this forward as a part of your truth, to honor who you are, all that you are. Not just always showing one side of yourself because it's what everybody expects. Everybody is not walking your path, you are. So how may you perceive yourself anew? How may you perceive yourself as the star from heaven? How may you perceive yourself as the angel from heaven, to create a new truth for you, to bring it forward through your vulnerability and authenticity, and be fully aligned with self-love and self-care and self-honor and rebalancing, so that you may be the carver of new paths for others. You may be the way shower to show yourself. There's so much about you that you don't even know. Bring it forward, bring it forward, bring it forward. You have stories to tell that people want to see. And this is also others perceiving you. That you might have one or two people that see you as this unique being. And those are the ones that allow you that nurturance and that beautiful support to be all that you can be. And then there might be others that judge. There might be others that want to hold you back because they don't understand your path, or because they might not understand the light that you carry. And it's allowing you to understand all that you are, regardless of what is being talked about, whether it's the sexuality, whether it's your intelligence, whether it's your choice of path. It doesn't matter. But your sexuality is a part of you. And you can have all of these people present themselves in your life so that you come forward with a more honest, authentic perspective and wholeness of you. We're each revealing and peeling back and peeling away our wholeness. And they're powerful energies that we can transmute all density, all subjugation, all limitation, and all greed. Powerful. Love it. So amazing. And I had this card come out. Maybe I'll bring this up here. I'll put this here. This card has such a story. I'll bring it a little bit closer. And this is the Pickle Cheese. I've already got a story. It's coming through. It's coming through. It's coming through. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just love it when the cards just completely come forward with what we've just been talking about. It's just the vibration of source, right? The symbolism of this, based on the author and their perspective. Set aside some time each day for meditation, to sit quietly and listen to the sounds that are all around you, so that you honor each moment. And that's just what we've been talking about, this new path that's being presenting itself to you in all moments. How may you honor what was? How may you call from what was? How may you allow what was to be a part of your ever-moving journey into self-honor, self-love, and self-respect? Practice mindfulness in which you become aware of everything, and that from minute to minute to minute, you're a part of it. The Pickle Tree is about enlightenment. The journey that we all take in order to allow ourselves the perspective that we are a part of everything, and how life can flow around you. Life can be a part of all that you are. And we see the beautiful, the tapestry of colors here that mean many things to many people. But this ties into everything that we've been talking about today. It's the honoring of who we are in all ways that humanity can present itself, and how life can mold itself around us when we create that sacred honor, the center of it all. That this is the womb of Gaia, this is the womb of creation, this is the womb of life, and we are birthing ourselves within it. And there's many very sacred traditions and initiations, and we're going to be having, I'll leave the link in this video, the Divine Feminine Initiation Week from February 7th to the 14th, where we truly honor the womb of creation and the womb of who we are as the seed of source being birthed anew. That we are the ones creating our own contractions. We are the ones creating our own rebirth, our resurrection. And in every stage, it's required for us to deeply nurture and heal the Divine Feminine. I had an amazing experience, which was my inspiration for creating this weekly. It's a 30-minute weekly, for 30 minutes every day for 1 week. From the 7th to the 14th, we gather and we create sacred initiation, sacred prayer and chant and light language. And we call in the messages of honor from the Holy Mother, the divine creator, Mula, the energies of Gaia, so that we heal and open in a deeper level of compassion at our heart chakra. And so many of us that have gone through many traumas, abuse, deep healings that are required from the heart chakra will be a part of these initiations to truly open up as greater world servers, as leading with compassion, leading with the sacred essence of life. And this is what this card symbolizes. I symbolize the world tree. I can help you achieve great enlightenment by stilling your mind and helping you live solely in the moment and freeing you from all suffering and bondage. And that's what we were talking about, the strength and the courage that one has to walk their path, not knowing or planning out or controlling the next moment, letting go of the beliefs that we've held about ourselves in every way, to create that vulnerability and that ecstasy, in that inner balance and stillness, to know that we are part of all things and in all moments can be reborn. So that's profound. That's just a beautiful card. And this is the Gingo. We've had this one before, haven't we? The imprints that it leaves upon the earth, that each one of us do as we travel. In many of my sacred travels, I understand the consciousness stories within Gaia, whether it's the beautiful sacred stream, whether it's a rock or a rock consciousness, or it's statues. And it's the sacred memory that we leave. And what is your sacred memory that you wish to leave? We only know that when we come into those moments of reflection. This energy is reflecting. Where I have all before me, where do I want to step next? What is my memory of the paths that have come before me? Not in degradation or judgment of where I've been and the choices I've made, but to honor it and say, I have gained so much wisdom. Because in every moment you can choose what story, energy you take with you from the past. That's why the past is your greatest teacher. But you, only in your reflection and only in your choosing through free will, I choose this to serve me in this moment. This is my imprint for this next journey. And this, I'm going to use this ecstasy card with this one, because this speaks of memory and things that have come in the past. But what I'm introducing in this particular moment is that in the awakening of our enlightenment and our new beginnings and our new paths, we are being awakened to a new level of Gaia consciousness, the memories that are held within Gaia, so that we can come forward and begin a new celebration and a new story, so that we're creating new sacred geometry. We're creating new intentions to fill cups, whatever it is you'd like to co-create with Source in a new way, in a different way. And how can you use that as the energy in your oneness, as you're spiraling in this ever continuing space-time continuum into a new level of awareness, that in each moment you'll be activated with Gaia wisdom that can not only pull from the past but also from the future. And how can we live in ecstasy of this and begin teaching and begin learning and begin sacred learning, higher learning, anchoring it for the vibration that it offers us, because that's exactly what conduits like myself and seers and visionaries, crystalline energies. We're crystalline energies because we have the capacity to tap into the crystalline wisdoms that are being offered in consciousness that is Source Creator, Mother, Father, God, Gaia Consciousness. It's crystalline. It interacts with the water bodies. It acts, as we've taught in our webinars and our global webinars that we offered this weekend for Japan. And so they reminded me of many beautiful Gaia stories and Gaia remembrances that were brought forward in a new now moment. So some of the stories were told before, but it was brought forward with new information of this now moment and how it's affecting this now Gaia consciousness and what the crystalline energy truly does and what it is. And not that you're becoming more enlightened. Yes, that's an attribute, that's a byproduct of releasing density, but you're allowing yourself to become that crystalline essence that communes and entangles with all life, past, present, future, all life, all universe. That's crystalline. That's the Christ consciousness. And it goes far beyond, transcends every aspect of dogma, every aspect of anything we've ever written. And to say that, I say that with great reverence and great honor, because one of my greatest excitements is to learn and to continue learning. So there is no judgment at all from any of the traditional elements of education that we've all gained wisdom from. But what we're here to do now in a fifth dimensional story is to rewrite, to take all that we've learned from the past and rewrite it in new vibrational ways that aligns with the Christic grids and honors all peoples. To have the stories as our greatest lessons, our greatest teachers, and how may we create the consciousness now that's being offered, because there's consciousness now that's being offered that we can't even see, that we don't even know. However, when we're in the vibration of Source Creator, we're in the vibration of oneness and love, and you open up that portal of your heart, you are the sacred womb of creation. You are the sacred cosmic egg that is you in Source, that all wisdom of the universe holographically within. And when we do that and when we know that, then we're offering a new vibrational now moment of consciousness, and it's crystalline. And it is then gets embedded and implanted within the earth, and all past, present, and future are being rewritten. And oftentimes when I'm communing and connecting with the multidimensional, multiverse, omnipresent energies such as this, there are stories that are being downloaded as we speak, and I'm activating stories that have been deposited in my field as we speak. And I'm pulling them forward as my new now knowing, but my higher self and my soul self are saying, you've already known this, you've already written it, it's been in a few books, in higher frequency or galactic libraries. It's the Akash awakening. It's the innate of the field of joy, of happiness that is awakening. It's all around us at every moment. And why we've been offering the mastery class in sacred toning to get used to understanding from a higher level that you are your fields. You are commanding and projecting your fields. You set the vibrational intent for your fields on what it responds and gives to you. And there's great wisdom and intelligence within it for us to begin an ecstatic new beginning. And this is why it goes far beyond what any quantum tool of direction or we need those educational tools, yes, but allow yourself to be the absolute center and the egg and the egg of creation, the cave of creation, the womb of creation, that you are all aspects of it. And Source, through your pure intent, through your pure joy to be you, through your pure moving through your own soul's journey, through you living within that pure soulful experience of you and Source and creation, you will achieve and receive and move and dance and spiral and spin and entangle and the most elegant dynamic words that is the experience of Source Creator as love and exploration, experience and expression, you will experience. And bring forward wonderful stories of newness, bring forward wonderful wonderful musings that challenge what our perspectives were in such steeped teachings that have rarely changed. This is what we're here to do. We're reaching beyond all boundaries of limitation. Why limit our intelligence and our wisdom and our understanding? Allow it to be completely free-flowing and open, which is what Source Creator is, and allow the wisdoms of the now new come through you so that your vibrational story can be a part of this new dynamic fifth dimensional earth that's being imprinted in the consciousness grids templates that we'll walk upon. Why not? That's why we're all here. And so it is. That is just so amazing. Did I read that? I got so busy talking. Have you forgotten something important? Perhaps it slipped your mind because you subconsciously want to ignore it because it challenges you or it allows you to face something you don't want to face. So yeah, that's going back through some of the cards we had earlier. This guy or girl, they've had to face things they don't want to face. It's not comfortable. It is not comfortable, but we can do it. We have everything we need. We are the cosmic egg. Make no mistake about that. And I've had enough experiences and written about them, and about 100,000 more that I can't write about. I just don't have words for, but they'll come up. I'm sure I'll come up with new words. It's my excitement as well. I love language. I love inspiring new language and new vibrations in language. That's part of the Christic joy. That when I offer the Christic vibration, it's a coded vibration of energy that goes through everything that I offer through that intention. And so I'm just showing myself from my higher state, there's already words and books being written from things that I will read and I will remember. So again, past, present, future is all happening right now. It's just a matter of how open are you? How vulnerable are you to your genius? How vulnerable are you to your wisdom? How vulnerable are you to the infinite, to the miraculous? Can you garner the respect that you deserve? Because that takes the experience, and that takes moving through lack of self-doubt, lack of self-worth that we've all experienced, and why there's such separation on our planet. Because we've allowed others to define us. We've allowed their teasing to block us in our gifts and shut them down. Or those that might not be happy for your success or want to be a part of your support system. So that's all a part of learning self-respect and self-honor, because they're going to be learning that on their path. So be okay with that. Let it go. You know, self-respect and self-honor comes from the experiences that are not comfortable. It just does. Knowing when to say sorry and truly step up to know that apology, that forgiveness changes your alchemy in your heart, changes the alchemy of your soul, changes the alchemy of what spirals around you, past, present, and future. So why not? Why not be the cosmic egg of something new, something profound, something beyond what you can explain, but you absolutely know in your heart is what must happen for you to move to that next level, so that you can be dancing in ecstasy, so that you can offer the consciousness grid something new, so that through your joy and excitement and self-honor, you are the representation that is fully Mother, Father, that is fully Sacred Child, that is fully Sacred Earth. That is profound. Wow. I just love this reading today. And of course, the 2 final cards here. Can we get a drum roll, please? And actually, Joanna's having some fun. I do have a drum. The 2 most magical cards in the deck, if we can define it that way, but we can't because I love all the cards. I'm just giving it for the presentation value. These are my 2 absolute favorite cards. Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds mean a lot to me. It's part of my sacred story. And we all know the majesties of the hummingbirds. And if you want to look them up and read about their shamanic symbolism, when I look up animals, I look up the shamanic symbolism, not just the symbolism. I look up the shamanic symbolism because it allows me a more expanded view, coming from people that have studied tribal energies and stories and myths. But the hummingbird, you are a joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love and energy that sears through your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness and joy that you are. And we all know the miracles that hummingbirds are, the creatures that they are. They're just so, so sacred and magnificent in how they move. And each animal of consciousness brings a story for us to honor and to garner. And this is the unicorn consciousness, which I've often talked about, is for me representation of the crystalline children, being brought back up to a vibration of oneness and equal representation and honor within our collective. And we see that the hummingbirds and the butterflies are there, which for me represent transmutation at a higher level. And so this vibrational reading today, shamanic reading today, is taking all that we are in synchronicity and harmony with Gaia and with Source Creator, and going through a gateway and a portal, which is what this new moon has offered for me as initiation to a new portal, a new energy, to truly be in sacred honor of who I am as a sacred child of play, to create the infinite possibilities, to be open and create the sacredness and awareness that we are the representation of all that is magical, of all that is infinite. And each and every one of us at every new moment can spread our wings to create that gentleness and that vulnerability, the respect and the honor for the paths that we've created, knowing that every now moment is a new moment to harmonize past, present, future, density, light, male, female, sexuality, stories, density, however we want to define, because we're all going through a unique perspective, and it's meant to be that way. But the unicorn is all about infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds, the magic of love that surrounds you, beauty that transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light, abandon the darkness, go beyond the ordinary and become legendary. So allowing yourself to know that you have experiences, wisdoms, intelligences that connect with all aspects of life. And that's what the cosmic egg reminds us, that you are one with source in every way. And you have within your DNA, you have within your multidimensional perspectives, everything that you need to transcend every uncomfortable moment. So that you sit with great honor and respect for who you are. And even in those most uncomfortable moments, that as you surrender into Source Creator, into the Holy Spirit, into Mother, Father, into the universe, and God, however you define the creator of all life, within every cell, every atom, every particle of life has source. You surrender into this divine intelligence, this divine unconditional love and elegance of benevolence. Then a way will be shown. And you will always be, as you always have been, always will be, always are, unconditionally loved and wrapped in the delicate treasure of love. Anything is possible, all is miraculous. And how may you create? And so it is. We thank you, dear lighted ones, for this very magical journey of Shamanic Tarot. And we hope that you begin this brand new month of February with higher honor and higher pride and gratitude and reverence for all that is Source Creator, that you have the capabilities and capacity to see yourself, to be and live and explore and express and experience yourself brand new. And we thank you and offer you the most divine wellness, that balance and harmony for your life unfolding. And be your best. Divine blessings and holy light. Namaste.